In the history of pop culture media, there have been only two Johns to share a commonality when it comes to a Spartan name. Spartan 117, whose real name is John, from one of the most influential first-person shooters ever, and John Spartan from the old 80s action film Demolition Man. However, today we're only going to be talking about the former of the two. Do you guys remember back when you were kids and you would play with your action figures and sometimes wonder what would happen if two of the figures combined into one to make one superpowered being? See, we as kids were the original What If. Marvel could never, except for that Mecha Avengers episode. I actually really liked that one. And how Happy Hogan saved Christmas. Shouts at the gay icon Justin Hammer.
I call it the ex-wife.
See, when we were kids, we used to have all these kind of cool, wacky ideas that we never really got a chance to bring to fruition, either A, because of copyright laws, B, because companies don't know how to make money, or C, we were all broke. Actually, I see things haven't changed in the last 20 years. But with the invention of 3D printing and cosplay, we can take a lot of these crossover ideas and turn them into reality, which is what I am here to do today. What were to happen if you take the intellectual genius and technology of the Iron Man suit from Stark Industries and infuse it with the same technology that gave us the 7-foot-tall walking armies that are the Halo Spartans? Get a badass helmet from me. What's up, guys, gals, non-binary pals? It's your boy Ryder CGA, and I am coming at you with another cosplay build. And this one's a little bit different because usually I would have the finished prop in my hand, but as you can see, there is no prop in my hand. However, I'm gonna get this Dr. Pepper though, just because Dr. Pepper is a fantastic color. See, the funny thing is, I haven't actually had that helmet in my possession in months. As of recording this, it is currently 12 p.m. June 18th, 2025. C2E2 was in mid-April. Back in New York Comic Con, when I first got to wear my Iron Man suit for the first time, I had an idea as a way to say thank you to one of the people who really helped me build this suit. Without him, it probably wouldn't have gotten done for New York Comic Con. I was in severe crunch mode and I needed some pieces to get printed last second, and my Ender 3 at the time took a shit. And then a hero came into my DMs and offered assistance. Spartan OFiveTwo, who many of you probably know as our collective father on TikTok, he DM'd me after we've had a rapport since C2E2 of 2023 and said, hey, I'll help you out printing some pieces. What you need. Needless to say, I was in his debt. And when I was wearing my suit in New York Comic Con, I kept running this in my head of this idea of a way to pay him back and not only give something back for him helping me out with my suit, but to also give something back as a show of appreciation for his content and his energy, getting a lot of us through one of the darkest times in the last 20 years with goddamn Walking Dead happening with COVID-19. So as one does, I go ahead and go window shopping on Wireframe, knowing full well that I have about $3 in my account and $16 in my savings. There's this amazing file that I saw made by Walsh 3D on Wireframe where it was a mashup of a Tony Stark-esque Iron Man helmet and a Spartan. Once I saw that file, I knew what I had to do. Not only was I trying to make this a gift for OFiveTwo, it was supposed to be a surprise. So what you're about to witness is a multi-tiered operation going across 6 to 7 months on how to get this thing not only made, but perfectly, pristinely matching his actual Spartan armor, while also leaving no clues for him to figure out at all. Let's start with step 1, the sizing. The problem is that even though I know Spartan OFiveTwo personally, I don't know his head size. I don't know about y'all, I just don't know the head sizes of most of my friends. The following is an actual DM exchange on November 21st, 10 p.m. Question: approximately what is the measurement for your head that you use for your helmet? Subtle, I know. 24 inch circumference. The hard part's over. Or so I thought. Luckily, I have the same size head, so it really doesn't need to have that much done to it at this point. I put all the files into Mesh Mixer and Blender using a 3D scan of approximately my head and making it just a little bit bigger just for extra security. Uniformly scaled all of the parts before I shipped them over to Ultimaker Kara. All the parts relatively printed easily. The helmet is very user-friendly when it comes to a beginner project. So if you're looking for a fun beginner project and are a fan of Iron Man and Halo and want to get to know the basics of what it's like to assemble a helmet with magnets and all that, this is a helmet for you. I got all the parts printed, got them off the printer, and then I started to put them together. Now, given the fact that there are literally hundreds of videos on how to properly sand and prime and paint your 3D printed parts, I'm not going to go into super duper detail. If you want to see a video, Kira Creates has an awesome video about his shotgun build that literally uses damn near every single one of the same steps that I'm about to talk about. And there's also Frankly Built's videos with his Mark 85 series. There are resources out there and people who are much smarter than me who can tell you how to do this. I am not said people. I am just a guy who is currently sitting in his underpants talking to a camera while sipping Dr. Pepper. Don't judge me. It's been a week. Every piece of the helmet got hit with 80 grit sandpaper with a pass over using my palm sander, and any of the little nooks and crannies I hit with hand sanding, which didn't take long at all. Then I went over it with 100, 120, etc., jumping up all the way to 220 before we finally get to primer. The primer that I used is pretty much the same kind of primer that everybody else has used. Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 filler or sandable primer, but honestly, you can get away with using sandable primer, you can get away with just using the filler primer, or you can get away with the automotive primer that I use. They damn near cost all the same. Some are more expensive than others. Dealer's choice. I started hitting all the parts after they were sanded with the automotive primer and then gave them all a rough pass of 220 grit sandpaper to really get them smoothed out a couple times. Rinse and repeat until I was satisfied. So once everything was done with the sanding and priming, I actually put the rest of the pieces down except for all the pieces that were the metallic gold accents. I wanted to replicate the same kind of visor look that a lot of the Spartan helmets have, especially the Master Chief's helmet, with that really mirror style effect of the chrome tint in the early Halo games. I actually did something a little bit different than I would normally do. Taking the time that I could, I wet sanded the absolute shit out of the lip and the front faceplate because those are the smoothest pieces that you will need to get it that nice chrome mirror finish. Usually I jumped up to about 400 grit, wet sanded it with 400, then I jumped to 600, then I jumped to 800, then 1200, all the way up until I think it was 2400. It's a little bit overkill, but trust me, the result speaks for itself. Once everything was all sanded and smoothed down to my liking and has air dried and I washed all with soap and water, I let it air dry some more, took them outside and gave everything a nice gloss black coat. Now this is a debate, a hot button like debate on like if it's necessary or not. I've done it without a black base coat. I've done it with a black base coat. It is completely up to you. Me personally, I use it just because it gives my paint of my silvers and my metallics something a little bit better to bite to, like to adhere to is smooth. So this acts like an extra buffer in case there is like those teeny tiny imperfections. This is like a good base coat. So it's up to you. I use the Krylon all-in-one paint and primer gloss black, and it hasn't let me down yet. Once I finished that up and all the pieces dried, I then jumped into the silver because I wanted everything to have a nice silver undercoat just in case anything got scratched, damaged. You know how cosplay props are. Even if they're display pieces, things happen, and I would rather that it looks natural and looks weathered rather than something happening to it and now you have this giant chip where it goes all the way down to the primer. Getting all the pieces into a silver metal undercoat, I just used some good old Rust-Oleum silver. Not this kind. The kind I used had a big pretty silver flower on it. This is just something I've been sitting on for like months. I'm probably gonna get rid of this can actually because it's not that great. The same silver I use for my suit, so I know it works. Letting it dry, we now run into another problem. When I wanted to make this suit, I didn't want to just go off the reference images that came with a 3D model. I wanted to make this as accurate as humanly possible to Spartan OFiveTwo's actual Spartan suit. The problem is, I didn't know what color green he used for his suit. A Discord message was shot over. The Spartan OFiveTwo suit, while it isn't super green, it also isn't super light green. It's something in the middle. He sent me the color he used, which was this Rust-Oleum camouflage flat army green. So all of the green pieces I hit with that, with the top of the bowl, the jawline. I also hit it with a bit of the front of the jaw and gave it that nice green coat of paint. With a matte finish. Those of you who know about Spartans know that they have also dark gunmetal pieces on their helmets with the lights and the back of the helmet. Easiest thing ever. I used the same metallic black stainless steel Rust-Oleum paint and primer that I used for my suit. It is the exact same color. with a matte clear coat over it. That's literally all I did, was just, and all the pieces were perfect. Once everything was all finished and dried, I just used a standard Rust-Oleum matte finish to just make everything kind of look less shiny on the helmet, because I felt like if I kept everything the way it was, it would take away from the effect of what I am about to do, which is the visor. Now, the visor, I could have done a multitude of ways. I could have used Rust-Oleum's gold, like Frankly Built has done for his golds. A lot of Iron Man cosplayers love Rust-Oleum metallic gold for the faceplate, the gold parts of the suit, but it wasn't chrome enough to my liking. And considering how I assumed this would be a display piece, I tried something different. I used the same gold that I used on my God of War Blade of Olympus build, which is the Montana Gold Chrome spray paint. I used that on the faceplate and the bottom lip. And oh my God, as soon as it went on the black base coat, I've never been in love with something more, and also so afraid to touch it. The iframes are just solid black. I just made the iframes solid black. They can be glossed to maybe, I left them, I think I left them glossed just to amplify the effect of the LED eyes that I was gonna put into them. Once I got everything painted, everything was finished, everything was nice and sealed. The helmet itself just goes together with neodymium magnets, which I soldered into the actual like holes so that way they wouldn't pull out. But if they do, simple super glue, you're done. Then I just hot glued the LED eyes into the helmet like I do any other Iron Man suit. Put the battery pack in the visor itself, considering how this isn't motorized, so there's no need for it to be hidden anywhere else. And it even gives the added bonus of having the faceplate still on and active while it's off the helmet. I felt like it needed that last little bit of extra detail to really bring it together. I decided to 3D model a stencil using a hand-drawn font of OFiveTwo's call sign on one side of the helmet, where I 3D modeled it. I printed it on very, 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 very thin PLA, glued it, sealed all the edges, and gave it just a gentle dusting of metallic silver to really help seal it. I left it alone for 3 hours, and then I peeled it up. Instead of putting OFiveTwo on both sides of the helmet, I did my best to use a 3D modeling software to make the crest of the UNSC. And while it's not perfect and I should really invest on a Cricut, it gets the point across and also looks almost worn, like the metal like decal chipped off. So it just has the basic shape of the actual eagle and the crest. Once those were finished, I put the helmet together one last time, and here's some beauty shots of the finished Spartan OFiveTwo Iron Man helmet. Enjoy. And then I had the absolute pleasure of going to C2E2 2025 and hand delivering this helmet to him myself. And yeah, this is one of the moments that I'll never forget in cosplay. So enjoy me giving Spartan OFiveTwo his helmet.
I can finally give this man his gift because I've been sitting on this video for the God knows how long. For help, this is for helping me finish my suit.
Oh my God. How do I grab it? I'm scared. I'm scared I'm gonna break it.
You might need a hand here.
Yeah, here. No way. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It's magnetic, don't worry.
It's magnetic.
It's okay.
That's your faceplate.
No way!
Take the faceplate off, there's a switch in there for the eyes.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah. Why do you think that I've been asking you subtle questions like what color armor, what color paint did you use?
Okay, hold on. Pause the video. Visibility in my helmet.
But yeah, that was for helping me when I was in the process of making this.
Dude.
I've been sitting on it for 6 months.
Seriously, this is so cool.
Yep.
I want to like grab the faceplate. I'm so scared of dropping it. Oh my
No,
God.
it's fine. The magnets are pretty strong.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I like made sure to get the custom plate of like OFiveTwo, so I made a custom stencil for you. So I made sure, and I'm so glad it fits you so well.
It's literally perfect fit.
Yes.
Could not be a better fit.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now we gotta make up for the 2 times we hung out and get pictures with you in this and your regular.
Well, see, this is bad because you know what you've enabled me to do is now make an Iron Man suit to match
As a fellow
you.
hella diver, I love it. Can I get a photo of you if that's okay?
I'm so glad you like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was just another fun cosplay build video. Check out all the people that I've mentioned throughout the video. If you feel so inclined, please subscribe for all things cosplay, gaming, and art related. Make sure you keep it locked here on my channel. And until next time, it's your boy Ryder CGA, and I'm out. Peace.
Not here, baby. Not here.